minutes.
So I want to direct my questions to Mr. DeBoer. I agree with you 100% that you say that trust is important in the sense of being secure and reliable. And you also mentioned that we are the only G7 country, lagging behind. So my first question is, in comparison to other G7 countries, how far behind we are? And what is the significance of that kind of lagging behind?
Thank you for the question. The United States passed a similar law in 2022, so almost 4 years ago.
Right.
In Europe, an NIS2 directive was enacted last October. In Japan, in April. In Australia, last year. So we're at least 1 to 4 years behind our peers, essentially. And that makes us vulnerable.
So in that case, do you think the lagging behind is intentional or a matter of negligence?
I wouldn't say it's intentional. I know that the government has tried to work on this bill and pass this bill for a while. It's taken time to get it right. Also, our federal system, makes things difficult. But I would stress that the urgency is now. We need to get this done. Cybersecurity is probably one of the most prevalent threats we face today.
Okay, very good. Now, to follow up, I would ask that sometimes I hate to hear the word, this is the right step in the direction, or this is a good first step. So how many steps do we have to take, right, in order to get to the destination that we want to arrive at? So what is your recommendation? How can we do it, approaching to the destination faster?
I say this is the first step because, first of all, it deals with 4 critical infrastructure sectors. We have many more than that. And even the notion of what is critical infrastructure is changing. It's taken Public Safety Canada years to come up with a new critical infrastructure strategy. And so this is going to be an ever-evolving assessment. It's really important that we continue to expand applicability of these kinds of requirements beyond just the 4 sectors. There also needs to be a harmonized approach with provinces and territories as well. So unfortunately, threat actors are finding new ways to attack our critical infrastructure. We need to adapt and be ready to adapt.
So in other words, how can we be more proactive? Instead of just always trying to catch up. So what do you recommend? So
there's one core thing I can recommend is strengthen public-private partnerships. Work more closely with companies like BlackBerry, other companies who actually have a lot more knowledge in some cases of the threat actors that are attacking critical infrastructure. We see them day in, day out. The Canadian government can only do so much. So one initiative that the Canadian government is moving forward is called the Canadian Cyber Defense Collective, which is a good initiative which will bring together public and private sector entities to deal with immediate crises and medium-term crises. And so that's a good first step.
Another good first step. Now, I want to ask you another question because, in your, BlackBerry, mentioned that you had large volume of cyber attacks, the 5 million cyber attacks in 3 months, things like that. So it's a serious problem. So do you believe that the current Bill C-8 would help you and your company to address those cyber attacks?
Information sharing is really important. Understanding how the threat is evolving, what the trends are, what kind of tactics and procedures threat actors are using, help you build defenses down the road. And so part of Bill C-8, what it does is it mandates information sharing in a confidential way. So if you know what the enemy is doing, or rogue actors are doing, you can better prepare. So yes, the short answer to your question is it will help BlackBerry, it will help our customers, it'll help us evolve our technology to higher encryption standards, etc. It's very important.
Monsieur Deboer, maintenant nous
Thank you very much, Mr. DeBoer. Now we are going